Hello, observers. We are live. Couple quick housekeeping notes. Yes, it is No Shave November. I don't love it, but I'm doing it. You'll get over it. Won't last forever. There is no question that doing these live streams can sometimes be a real pain in the backside. But I have seen all the emails. I have seen the comments asking me asking me to do another one. Hello, everyone commenting already. What is up? And so here we are, and we're going to try to keep this focused. And we've had a lot of news lately about the disaster cycle, Earth's magnetic pole shift. I just chose the words pole shift, but we're going to try to do a Q&A today for things involving Earth's magnetic pole shift. If you want to ask about the recent aurora records that have been shattered, happy to talk about that. Various aspects of solar forcing of the terrestrial atmosphere as they are also applicable in this pole shift scenario with a weaker magnetic field, allowing for enhanced solar forcing. T. Cole, what's up, my friend? I want to ask about stuff with the other planets, the galactic current sheet, solar micronova. Pretty much wanting to know what you guys are feeling in terms of questions that need answering. As always, I will do my best to keep up with the live chat and answer as many as I can. If you don't know, because you are relatively new here and haven't heard me say it before, it is a fairly well-known thing that once a channel gets to about 50,000 subscribers, and when they have maybe 400 or 500 people, even that low, 400 or 500 people on a live stream, it's nearly impossible to reply to everything, and most channels just reply to the super chats. I'm going to try to do better. Absolutely no guarantees. It's physically impossible. What's up, Westy? How you doing? And so if you really have a question you need answered, try a super chat. We'll do our best to hit all of those. Lowrider 1970. Thank you for the teal pair. First teal pair of the day. That's always fantastic. See a question I don't understand, so we'll go to the next one. Dick Dickerson. Loved seeing you on Jimmy's show. I enjoyed Jimmy's show. Keep rocking, and Denver sucks. Denver does suck. Denver sucks in the chat. T. Cole says, world's crazy. People don't understand aurora. Eyes open. No, they do not understand at all. Not at all. All right, I see a question. What's the best evidence I can point out to my friends about the big one, CME? I don't actually know what you're asking me there. What is the big one, CME? I don't know what that is. Charles Wagner, yes, Jimmy from Bright Insight has been discussing the magnetic pole shift more recently. I wonder why. Jimmy's a good dude. We text each other sometimes. Gothy Mom, thank you for the teal pair. You are just a torrid denier. What the hell does that even mean? Like, I deny the torrid meteor shower exists? Is it? If you can find me saying that anywhere, anytime, ever, please let me know. Can't fix stupid. Oh, here's a question. CME yesterday, question mark. What is your question, actually? Ergo, what I said at the start of the show. Sometimes these live streams are a pain in the backside. Joe Peterson, what's up, my friend? Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Good to see you here. Have I mentioned that Denver sucks? Simon Phoenix says, lay off the meth. That's funny. That's funny. All you guys need to know I don't do meth is this. Ain't you never seen Breaking Bad? David, writing black star and a question mark is not a question. You know, I think one day I'm just going to do one of these live streams and I'm just going to rip on people's bad questions. T. Cole, thank you for saying the beard looks good. I don't know if it looks good per se, but yeah, it's no shave November. I don't know if I'm going to make it the whole month. As you can see, I'm trimming the neck because I don't feel like looking homeless. But like some of these questions aren't even serious. Like, is the Earth flat? Question mark. Jesus. All right. Could this be a real question? Did you see that article today about the internet going down due to solar activity? Seems like they are behind. Number 2, what's in store for Panama? I did see an article about the internet going down due to solar activity, except most people weren't just like they were just looking at the title and they didn't actually read the article. It's not talking about an actual solar event that's on its way here. They're talking about the potential for a major solar event to do that. Yes, they are quite behind, but the article was relatively accurate. What's in store for Panama? I presume you mean in the catastrophe. Waves will probably break through the entire country. Volcanoes are going to go off, earthquakes, and then you'll have to deal with Montana-like weather. As Stewie would say, yeah, good luck with that. All right, it appears I've missed some. All right. Now you people are getting in gear. That means it's my turn to get in gear. Julie says, hey, Ben, can you say whether volcanic activities at the moment will do much to the cooling of the climate? No, they will not do much to cool the climate at all. We need high VEI 7 to do that. None of the volcanoes going off right now are anywhere close. Can you hit on the mood swings again? I'm not entirely sure what you mean, but I can tell you that one of the several well-documented impacts of the extra cosmic rays on our brains is an excitement of the locus coeruleus, which is basically the center that helps you deal with panic, fear, anxiety, terror. Basically, it's causing heightened emotional instability. This also happens with solar flares, with geomagnetic storms, and with Earth's weakening magnetic field, we are more exposed to all of it. I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Ben. Greetings from Brazil. Hello, Brazil. Hello to the future South Pole. No neck beard November. I like that, T. Yeah. I'm not going to be doing a neck beard, but we'll see if we can have a clean, manicured beard for No Shave November. How to do something to get in the spirit of this No Something November. And No Nut November is ridiculous. Absolutely not. Unless all you have is porn, in which case try No Nut November. Stop watching porn, for God's sakes. FYI, even Linda Moulton Howe is spreading the word about her inside sources in government, informing as many people as possible about a catastrophic solar event within the coming decade. Glad Linda's doing that. Although you don't need a source inside the government to tell you that. FYI. Tim, since you've accused me of ignoring you, I'm scrolling up, see if I can find your question. Nope, just you complaining over and over again. Just you complaining, Tim T, over and over and over again. While I'm searching for how does a pole shift affect the brain, I literally just answered that question, and you've been complaining since I answered that question. Bruv. Out of pure curiosity, I'm wondering, Tim T, what is it like to be a little bitch who doesn't pay attention and who whines a lot? I'm a curious man. I want to know the answer to these questions. Thank you for the new book. I'm very excited to see it. I'm very excited for them to arrive here. Do mountains reduce visibility of the aurora? Beard looks good. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. It depends. If the mountains are to the north of you, yes, they very well may impede your view of the aurora. That's very possible. Thank you for all the info, for educating those of us who care, and for everything you do. Eternally grateful. Is this the teal pair? That is not the teal pair, but Thomas, I very much appreciate your kind words, and I understand where the spirit was coming from in attempting to do the teal pair. So thank you very much. Animator and Fiddler says, thanks to all the folks who help Ben keep whacking our brains into shape and doing it with patience and good humor. I try. Storm to come. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. I'm doing my best not to miss any super chats here. Somebody says they've been following me since 2009, which is, I have to say, just so impressive. Not only for the duration of time, but because I jumped on the internet in 2011. So if you've been following me since 2009, that you're like exceptional. To show my support, I'll refrain from shaving my armpits during November. Okay. Oh, somebody doesn't like the fact that I'm wearing a cross around my neck. I'll see you in hell, buddy. LV, thank you very much. I sent the money before asking the question. Again, from Brazil. It's cool, man. You're good. I live in Sao Paulo. I see that South American, it's the South Atlantic anomaly is right under us or above you. Is that situation affecting us more here with this cycle? I do think that you have a higher cosmic ray pounding, and you do have a enhanced magnetic field deviation from normal. At this time, it's not like it's going to kill everyone tomorrow kind of thing, but it is something that should be monitored. There's no doubt about that. Crosses are not for Jews, Ben. What makes this person think I'm a Jew? I'll tell you what, 99% of you are just awesome observers. Some of you are fucking stupid. Just real stupid. Somebody wants to play the watch the playlist drinking game. I'm like conflicted about the 1% of you who are dumb. It's like every fiber of my being wants to go salty with it and just tear you apart. And then there's a little piece of me that just feels bad for you. Ben, I've been stalking you since 1996 when I was 12 years old. It's been awesome seeing you grow. Thank you. Appreciate that. And that's a good joke as well. Who thinks I should get salty? My goodness, just look at some of these questions. Like, is anybody else just keeping up with this live chat right now? Okay, here we go. Do you think the 3 times Mount Everest size asteroid will hit before all the disaster ending the road? I don't think it's going to hit. One of the great things about learning how to actually understand ephemeris data and astronomical observations is you don't have to sit here and wonder, are they lying about Apophis? You can actually just go and look and do the math yourself. And if you feel so inclined, you can even pay a little bit of money, get some of the super telescope public time, and point it at the asteroid yourself and see it's exactly where they say it is. And it's moving at the speed they say it's moving. And of course, you do need a little bit of math to pull that off as well. The point is, there are some things that can't be hidden. There are just some things that can't be hidden. Native Texan, thank you very much. Stoned Ape says, I think you should talk about the pole shift. I'm willing to answer any questions I actually get about the pole shift. I would love to talk about the pole shift. Damn, Ben, who pissed in your Cheerios? The stupid in the chat section, as I just explained. And again, if you are new here and you don't know why I intentionally act this way, there's 2 reasons why I act this way on live streams. 1, I'm trying to incentivize you to actually do your homework and to be serious about this. If stuff like this is important to you and you can't do your homework and be serious about it, I'm going to make you look stupid. It's easy for me. I can do it. So if that's you, I'm going to make you look stupid. The other thing is, I want to see who can't handle a little bit of roughness, a little bit of saltiness from me. Because I'll tell you what, if you can't handle me coming at you strong and hard here on these live streams, what's your plan when the sun turns black? Snowflake, you're toast. You need to be able to handle this. Rick Owen, hello, and thank you very much. Ben, do you feel like the time frame for the pole shift is accelerating? No. Timeline's still the same. All right, so here, let's go ahead and make fun of somebody. Hashtag PMA. Every video, no pole shift, just David talking bullshit. My name is Ben. I've been saying for about a decade now that we're looking to the 2040s for when the pole shift happens. I understand you're stupid, and I feel bad for you about that. Hashtag PMA with the smiley face. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, feel bad that you're an idiot. My greatest condolences. But again, my name is not David. It is Ben. Fucking clown. I think you're a rootin' tootin', lasso loopin', pop gun shootin' chicken hawk. Sheila, this is going to be a good comment, huh? Joking. Love the salt. Could only get 1,200 feet above sea level, but lots of rolling hills on the 187 acres that are 1,500 feet, 60-foot waterfall for power. If you figure out how to use that for power, that'd be awesome. Let me know. Have you talked about Iceland? I mentioned it in the morning news a couple days ago. I put some stuff on Twitter. We're still waiting for the volcano to go off. I talked about the earthquake swarm. I talked about them evacuating the area. But until that volcano actually pops off, there's just not much to discuss when it comes to Iceland. Typing David Wilcox ? Is not a question. Would you go on the Joe Rogan Experience? Yes. Would he invite me? Probably not. If Joe had any intention of ever inviting me on to his show, trust me, it would have happened by now. I'm very confident of that. I love his show. I'd love to go on there. Ben, please acknowledge the moon's influence on hurricanes weeks before and after lunar eclipse, like Harvey over Houston and the recent event in Mexico. I've seen that sometimes. The long-term data, it's really hard to make a point out of it. Hold on, I'm getting a text message from my babysitter. Somebody asked, do I snort cocaine? No. I am the only person in my house that is not really sick. Poor little baby Adam. You can just tell he's suffering. Kira had to stay home from school today. Noah's on his way there. I've been with them pretty much nonstop, and all I've got is, no, it's not cocaine. This is about the most sick I get. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Sheila Story, water turbine. Yes, that could work. Ben, please. Oh, I already got that one. Hey, Ben from Northern Maine. Does the sun go through magnetic flips as well? If so, what would you think the effect would be on the solar system? JEJ711. I can see we've been skipping my videos because in just the last couple of weeks, we have been talking relatively at length about the fact that the sun is going through its magnetic reversal right now. It does it every 11 years, and it's what triggers sunspot maximum. It's what controls the sunspot cycle, my friend. My mom is suffering a lot of heart issues lately, strokes mostly on her pericardium, and I feel some stuff on my chest too when geomagnetic storms are hitting. Are people getting affected more on health issues now as well? Yes, they are, Mr. Franco, but it's not the kind of thing where, like, if you are perfectly healthy, all of a sudden you're at a major risk of a heart attack. It's just that the most at-risk people are more and more at risk. There are books that teach about using water for power. Yes, there are. The problem is most of those that aren't talking about mechanical power, they're talking about generating electricity, they still need all these components that are going to be absolutely destroyed in the major solar event. The wires are going to melt. The batteries are going to fry. Yes, I'm well aware that water power is a thing. Thank you, though. But yeah. Anyway. Any UFO activity on the sun cam? No. And there has never, ever, 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 ever been a UFO captured by the sun cam. If you think you saw a sphere, just go to Google and type in coronal cavity. It's one of the things that satellite was built to see, and it is a fundamental aspect of solar magnetism. Woosa. Cover more climate changes on other planets, please. I've covered everything there is to cover. If there's more news that comes out, I'll cover it, but I've covered literally everything, and it's in the background videos, one of which happens to be listed in the description box below the video if you'd like to take a look at it. If the Three Gorges Dam is beautiful. If the Three Gorges Dam collapses, how will the resulting flood impact the Earth's rotation? It won't. That entire story was horseshit. Just thank you, Ben, for your work. Learned so much from your videos, share with many people, and I wonder how you stand it here, these questions. I know, right? Like, I do these live streams for the kick in the teeth, just for the punishment on my patients. Could you talk more about Australia, especially the East Coast, Gold Coast area, and survival potential? What might happen around here? Denver sucks. Denver does suck. I have talked about Australia quite a bit. You need to be away from the coast. You do need to be away from the coast. There are mountainous areas just inland. You got to aim for that. That's the best I can tell you without knowing more about where you are specifically. Sorry for missing the vids. My father has passed recently. My condolences, my friend. Normally, I catch your videos without exception. Thank you for your vids. Been watching for years. Keep up the great ones. I appreciate you very much for saying that. And no worries. I didn't mind. Well, put it this way. I didn't mean to offend you about the not watching videos. And you do have my condolences. Oh, here we go. Everyone wants to know about their own location. Me, I. What about where I live? What about where I live? What about... Ben, can you confirm that cesium-136 is one of the Nova-level isotopes we might expect to see post-Nova? The Y-Files episode on Mars references this isotope as only from atomic weapons. Thank you. It is absolutely something that could be made in the micronova or even a super flare. Y-Files, very entertaining. Not fantastic at what they do. I do not watch the Y-Files. Might be a dumb question. When the flip happens, will the Earth keep its inertia and spin on our current equator, meaning sunset and sunrise will go north to south? No. The crust will just reorient and take on the current spin. Do you have an opinion? By the way, if you watch the background videos, I literally show the new Earth orientation and how it spins. Highly recommend you do the homework. Do you have an opinion on Nick Zentner and his work? I don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is. Someone says, looking forward to the new book. Thank you very much, Cynthia. Appreciate that. In Evergreen, Colorado, we're neighbors, Ben. No, not really, because Sodom and Gomorrah sits between us. Crust won't reorient. Laugh. Literally never happened. GBs, 90. I've shown all the evidence that it does happen and exactly mathematically why it will happen. You cannot explain 4 or 5 of the most critical aspects of the evidence of this disaster cycle unless the crust reorients. I understand that you either lack the mental capacity or you are literally just stuck believing the same people who tell you dark matter's real, climate change is all our fault, men can be women, men can get periods. If that's you, I don't think I can help you. And if you're too lazy, GB's 90, to actually take a look at the evidence, the same evidence that the government classified, which Major White stole to give to his son to put in World in Peril. If you can't be bothered to take a look at the evidence that convinced Einstein and Cuvier and Deluc and Leibniz, have fun with the Kardashians. I'm going to eat you when the micronova happens, loser. Okay, let's see here. Question, with liquefaction of crust and mantle barrier, would that cause volcanic eruptions? Yes. Simple answer, yes. China has labs spreading more than COVID. Italians were the #1 target during COVID as payback for World War II. Really? Showing America where to invade Germany. Really? By the way, I want to know if you guys are getting ads in the middle of this. They didn't give me an option to turn it off, but I just clicked the little skip ad thing down at the bottom. So I'm very curious to know if that actually worked and you guys are not just blocked from seeing what's going on right now. The fact that they're literally forcing ads in the middle of a live stream is like the dumbest thing ever. It completely defeats the purpose. Stacy Lawson, you've been teaching this to your middle schoolers. You might get in trouble for that. Be careful. I get in trouble for that one. Oh, my sparks, dumpster diving dragon. What's up? I made it to alive. Hey, you good soul. Hello, right back at you. Do you think there is any form of Faraday cage that could absorb the incoming blast, one that an individual could build underground? Not really. No. Not really. I mean, from like a big CME, yes, but from a solar micronova, no. Ben, when the crust displaces and the oceans keep flowing at 1,000 miles an hour, will the deep ocean water rise, lose their 10,000 foot of pressure, and become giant sheets of ice or crushed ice? No. And it's not like the Earth, stops in relation to its current spin. There will be no 1,000-mile-per-hour waves. There will be no 1,000-mile-per-hour winds. It's a slow progression while the modern spin keeps going. There will be hurricane level winds, and the water will be moving fast. But you got to realize, if there were 1,000-mile-per-hour winds and 1,000-mile-per-hour waves, nothing would be here. Everything would be dead. And in the worst ever instance of this disaster cycle, 4% of the species were lost, which is atrocious, yes. But it's certainly not like the movie 2012. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Denver sucks. Well played, Jack. That is a funny one. Windy, Wyoming, thank you for the teal pair. You know that makes me smile. Hard not to smile. Oh, GB's 90 is back. Yeah, Ben, that the point. Let's all congratulate this dude on not getting like hit by a truck at this point, or not like electrocuting himself by sticking a fork in a light socket. Bruv, how you could be that dumb and still be alive is respect. I see you guys all think that's funny. That's good. Would Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson's theories on younger dryas be better explained by disaster cycle, not impact? Don't yell at me. Correct, Runs. I've talked about this quite a bit. The impactor hypothesis fails, utterly fails. That cannot explain anything except, like 10 to 15% of the evidence. It is much better explained by the disaster cycle. And by the way, both Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson know this. But Graham Hancock has to keep up the story he's been telling for decades, keep selling those books. Randall Carlson, he's been telling the same story for a while too. He is a Mason. Chungus Among Us. What's up, buddy? Blue Smoke, thank you for the teal pair. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Last question, Ben. Living at 1,600 meters height above sea level, any safety here if the big event comes? 1,600 meters in feet, that's not too bad. The problem is Brazil will be the new South Pole. Your main issue in Brazil is not the waves. It's the fact that you're going to be where Antarctica is right now. That's the major concern for Brazil. But 1,600 meters, if we're talking about waves, yeah, that's not bad. Heard worse. Can we know what local faults will do in the big event? Yes. Shake and shake and shake. Are we able to read living trees to see how the pole shift is progressing, as they found with the ancient Kari trees in New Zealand? No. No, we cannot. It's a fun idea, though, Tuesday Weld. I'll give you that. It's a fun idea. Any thoughts on Sky Scholar and his work? Bismuth, that's... Dr. Robitaille is literally one of my best friends in the entire world. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I talked to him on the phone just the other day. Sky Scholar is top level. Top level. And he also believes we're coming to a disaster. Bawamba, last time I don't want to be spamming Ben. Thoughts on NOAA predicting solar 25 cycle reaching maximum 1 year early? Did you see the video I did on that? Oh, I see. Okay. I believe the Great Pyramids were a form of planetary defense during a similar event. Could current technology attempt to defend Earth by artificially inflating the upper atmosphere and magnetic field? No. But they do offer localized protection. There is no way to recreate or strengthen the entire planet's field. But if anybody remembers, is there anybody who has been around long enough to see my videos on the electric fields created by the pyramids? They literally create an electromagnetic shell around them. Localized protection. That's a real thing. Ben, can the energy, the sun, and galactic sheet cause physiological effects on the human body now, such as heart, lungs, and nervous system? Yes, Ian. There's so much information on that. I had to make it an entire chapter in Weatherman's Guide to the Sun. Major impact on cardiac issues, major impact on the nervous system. Basically, the entire human body. You guys hear my kids yelling down there? Hey, Ben, you're starting to look shaggy now. Come on. KB. Well, maybe if you were here at the start of the show, you would understand why I look shaggy. It is No Shave November. I do need a haircut, though. That's legit. Does the sun micronova during solar max or min? Min. Definitely min. Shrooms will help get through end times. Good luck. Put it this way. If you're going to insist on doing shrooms, like, do them tomorrow. Don't wait until the sun turns black or you feel the entire world shaking or you see a giant wave coming and then you're like, okay, time to eat these mushrooms. What's the best place in Oregon to survive? Somewhere else. Ben, you're a dork, even if you ignore me. All NY best, my guy. First of all, I know I'm a dork. I'm a science nerd. But you're here complaining that I'm ignoring you when I explained at the start of the show how not to be ignored. So what does that make you, Sandy? I'm also jacked. Being a jack nerd is a life hack. Very kind of so many of you to say you're not a dork. I am a dork. I am a science nerd. Just so happens I'm also very good at martial arts, and I can probably bench press more than 99% of you. It is what it is. Do most magnetic reversals always come with volcanoes? Excellent question, Doom Pizza, and yes, they do. This is some of the most important aspects because every single one of these events comes with impactors, which are probably from solar plasma. They come with volcanoes. They come with tropical hydroclimate events and general climate change. They come with nova-level isotopes. It's important to know things like that because if you do not realize everything that happens every cycle, you might do what Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock do and be like, duh, An impactor explains this one thing over there. It was an impactor, see? What do you mean there's more evidence I have to explain? No message. Just, all right, animator. Appreciate you very much. How are your cardio workouts going? That's not funny, John. That's not funny. For those who don't know, who keep asking about all these different people, how soon after the pole shift can I go to Antarctica? Day one. I really want to tell this story, but the super chats keep coming in. Do many scientists agree with you but stay silent to protect their jobs, or do they actually believe the false narrative? Also, how do you stay positive? A lot of scientists do agree. A lot of them are beginning to get suspicious. Some of them are just blind and believe the false narrative. I stay positive because I know how the story ends. All of this is supposed to be happening. In addition to all the things happening throughout the solar system and on Earth and with the climate and with our magnetic field, what's happening to society economically, politically, culturally, all of this is written. All of this is what is supposed to be happening. And when you know how the story ends, you can't help but smile. Good question, though. Barefooted Gardener says, Ben, what's up? Where to begin, my friend? Where to begin? Troy Dan 22 says, good day, Ben. Do you think the 15-minute city thing is an attempt by the elites to train us to be in the same place to be wiped out during the micronova? I think it is, above all else, a control mechanism. Above all else, it's a control mechanism. The minimum caused Japan's earthquake and tidal wave in 2011 and India's tidal wave in 2004 if the Earth is magnetically memorable of the sun. Incorrect, Michael Lee Rossman. The solar polar magnetic fields triggered those earthquakes. They also triggered the 2010 Chile earthquake. They triggered the major ones in the Southwest Pacific in 2013 as well. In fact, since they have been measuring the solar polar magnetic fields, 85% of the magnitude 8 events line up with either a peak in magnetic strength or a magnetic reversal of the solar polar fields. This is what I wrote the paper on in 2015 with co-authors from a statistics department in NASA. No, the minimum did not cause those. The sun's magnetic fields do. You know, the ones that stretch all the way out past Pluto? Those are pretty powerful fields. What happens when one of them hits the Earth? Yeah. And yes, on that topic, I do know more than anybody. I know a lot about several different topics, but in terms of the sun triggering earthquakes, you'd be hard pressed to find one better. Stealth Eye, good to see you, my friend. Can I watch the reversal with my compass? Kind of, not really. Not really. And I'll tell you, I'll give you an example. Let's say you're in the middle of the United States. The North Magnetic Pole is moving fast, but it's moving directly away from you towards Siberia. If the North Pole is 10 feet in front of you, 1,000 feet in front of you, 1,000 miles in front of you, your compass is going to point the same direction in all three of those. And so, kind of, but not really. Can't really watch it with a compass. Good question. Fair play. Will the electric arcs be attracted to areas with high metal deposits in the ground? Maybe. Maybe it'll be attracted to water. Maybe it'll be attracted to crystals. Hard to say. And you go down deep enough, there's metal, water, and crystals everywhere. So, Amina, hello, and thank you. All right, maybe we'll get a little break here from Super Chats and I can actually tell this story. So, for everyone asking questions about all these different people, in 2015, there was a panel at the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles that they say will never be bested, and they may be right. George Norrie moderated. Me, Graham Hancock, Nassim Haramein, Greg Braden, and David Wilcock. Whoa. Yeah, it was quite the thing. But it was very eye-opening for me because before we went out on stage, they were all chatting amongst each other. I stroll up to introduce myself because in 2015 I had never met any of them. And they were having it, but they all immediately recognized who I was, welcomed me into the conversation. But they were all talking about how to phrase what they were going to say to support each other's stories, to sell books, to sell the expeditions and excursions and vacation trips that some of them like to sell. And I must have had some kind of look on my face because Nassim caught a glimpse of me and he shut up real fast. And he tried to get Greg Braden to shut up real fast. And let's just say I like George Norrie. Sometimes I like Nassim. But there's just something I can't bring myself to trust about all these people. Graham, especially now, because he knows for sure it's the sun. He knows for sure you cannot just blame an impactor for the younger Dryas. But hurts him to do that. It would hurt him, his life's work, his books. Anyway. Have you met or interacted with Alexander Unzicker? No, but I'm a fan. I like Unzicker. I don't have anything bad to say. He blames several impactors. He's still wrong. RMO, which I have explained in exquisite detail several times. Well, actually, he blames several impactors for what happened. Shut up. Talk to me like I don't know who these people are or what they say. Laura Garwood, thank you for the teal pair. Did you guys like my stutter impression? I'm allowed to do that because I stuttered as a child. So I don't want to hear shit about, oh, he's being insensitive. I'll show you insensitive. Some stories say that Aquarius is not a routine changing of the ages too. Most plausible logic I can find on the character of SpaceX, lifeboats, or seed banks to know something of the sort. I've heard stuff like that. Unfortunately, sitting in our position, there's just no way to really know. It's cool to think about, though. It certainly is. Blissfully, la la. Hello, my friend. Hey, Ben, got your new guide. Can't wait to dive in. Truth, much, much respect. You are appreciated. God bless. You are appreciated. God bless you, my friend. When did you go from telling the truth to a lie when the money is worth more to you than the truth? Yeah. Those guys at the Conscious Life Expo, they were all chatting like I was one of them. Like I was in on whatever they had going on. And Nassim saw the look on my face and I caught eyes with him and his face just dropped. Like literally, he didn't say anything, but the look on his face said, oh, shit. This guy's not part of our plan. This guy's not in on this. Kind of respected him being the only one to recognize it. Ben, are you a fan of Dr. Stephen Greer? Forgive me for asking again, but what was there a whole event that caused the 2011 Japan earthquake? A whole event? I mean, it was a peak magnetic power of the solar polar fields hitting the Earth. Have most of you guys not read my peer-reviewed paper? Have you not read the paper that I co-authored with NASA's Kong Papu Yen and Dr. Holloman of the statistics department at Ohio State at the time? He's now moved on to Duke. And NASA ran Dr. Yen out of the country. But yeah, no. The solar polar fields are what trigger the biggest earthquakes on Earth. Yet you went there. In 2015, I didn't understand that there were members of the wake up community who weren't on the level. It was a wake up call going there. Ben, do you have any idea where the galactic wave is in our solar system? Has it entered our solar system? How close is it to Earth? Edward, we are inside of the galactic wave right now. They are tens of light years thick. I believe that it first arrived in 1859, triggering both the Carrington event superflare and starting the magnetic pole shift here on Earth. We are probably getting very, very close to the central magnetic null point, which will be the thing that really accelerates us to maximum acceleration with the pole shift. It'll disrupt the electrical processes in, the corona, the chromosphere, the photosphere of the sun, leading to the solar micronova. So yeah, I think we are inside of the galactic current sheet at the moment. Sheila again, Rootin' Tootin', Lasso, Lupin, Grandma here. Are private consults available? I have watched your playlist several times, but I would like specific info. If so, what do I put in the subject line of your email? So I don't really do the private consults anymore, Sheila. I apologize. I don't really do those anymore. I'm pretty much focused on Observer Ranch and making sure that me and everybody who is in on the ranch project survives. Even if some of them are getting a bit impatient, getting a bit whiny even, I don't care. I will drag them, kicking and screaming, into the new age of Earth if I have to. If you would like to be part of the ranch project, it is no simple matter, but you can go to observerranch.com. I'll say that again, observerranch.com, and send us a message through the contact function at observerranch.com. We will respond as best we can, as fast as we can, in no more than a couple of days. I wish I had a British accent. People would just believe everything I said. That'd be cool as shit. Graham Hancock has been pushing a Gnostic thought that Satan is the good guy and God was the bad guy. Does Graham Hancock really do that? I mean, as I just explained, I figured out in 2015 it wasn't worth listening to Graham Hancock. But does he really say Satan's the good guy and God was the bad guy? Dude, I'll fight an old man. I don't care. These bad actors know they're likely unable to survive. They just do what they always do. You, however, are being a true educator. Paul, this is a very kind comment of yours. Helping the masses prepare, not just national treasure, a treasure to humanity's survival. I appreciate that very much. I really do. Thank you. Okay, scroll too far. Stan the man, please, Ben. Sat night live chat over cocktails. I need to see you spew some salty drunken science. Drunken super chat might be lucrative. It's Monday. Why can't it be Monday live chat? And I don't really drink. You can drink during the show if you'd like. I won't be doing that. How do you believe both in God and in a recurring flood event when God made a covenant not to flood the world again? I find it hard to believe both. Well, DC Productions, I can see that you must be new here because I have gone over this so many times. So, did you know that going from Aramaic or going from Hebrew to Latin, through Greek, and into Old English, and how it's changed. Have you ever tried to read what English was like in the year 500? There are things that are lost in translation. And no, God did not promise he would not flood the entire world again. He promised he would not flood their world again. But back then, Israel, if you lived in Israel, Israel was your world. But Egypt was another world. The deserts of the Sahara were another world. The ocean was another world. It's a matter of language. And by the way, he will not be flooding that part of the world again. They get fire. The micronova will be directly facing them this time. Again, DC Productions, I have gone over this and explained this in very extreme detail many times. You read the Bible and heard something, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I haven't done any of the research Ben has done. I bet he didn't think of this one, even though he brings up religious stuff all the time in his books and his videos. I'm going to get him on this one. Keep up, son. And if you're not going to do the homework, this is what I meant when I say, if you're gonna not do what you're supposed to do and come try to test, I'm gonna make you look stupid. But as you've seen, there are also instances where I will answer a question for the 100th time in a kind way. Can you tell the difference and why I pick which ones I pick? Simpsons Show, New York City underwater 2041. Do they really? Creator is the 33rd Mason. Haha, you're the only one really talking. Very grateful. How long until they shut your YouTube down? So we go together. They are not going to shut my YouTube down because I understand the rules of the game. This is probably the most interesting aspect of all of this. Real Satanists who actually rule the world. And it doesn't matter if you believe in Satan or not. Believe it as power, believe it's a real thing. Doesn't matter. They believe it and they're making it real. And because they believe it, they play by Satan's rules. And that's knowing what those are is very, very helpful. They believe in fair play and they believe in karmic retribution. Fair play, not necessarily even Steven 50-50, but you can't make it impossible for your opponent to win. You can't guarantee their loss. You have to leave a door open. And you have to skirt around karmic retribution. If you understand this, you can get away with just about anything. Fair concern, though. I question the absence of fjords in Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. I should spend a bunch of time on Google Earth looking for evidence, but do you have any thoughts before I do? No, I don't. Let me know what you find, John. Dumpster Diving Dragon. Have you any words of AJ's show on Electric Universe? I don't know who AJ is. I don't think you're talking about Alex Jones because he probably wasn't talking about the Electric Universe. But if you weren't talking about Alex Jones, I have no idea who AJ is. Oh, RMO, I quite like Graham's stuff because you're a moron and you don't understand all the evidence. If you did know all the evidence, even if you like Graham as a person, you would have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, he's wrong. As have many others. You can either go with your ego or you can go with facts. I prefer facts. Anyway. There's people still laughing at what I did to DC. I feel bad. No, I don't. Do you have any input for people who may have metallic dental implants or metal rods plates? I had a tooth pulled and refused to implant due to this. So yes. Let's just presume you can't get it removed. It's absolutely necessary that this metal has to stay in your body. Your body has its own energy field. and you can make it stronger. Good diet, exercise, positivity, not drinking, not doing drugs, not being negative. This will absolutely increase your body's own electromagnetic field, which is your last line of defense. God, how many times have you guys heard me say that? Michael, 1859 was the beginning, he said. The middle lobe is now, he says, that's less than 200 years from 1859 and less than 200 years from the end of the wave and light years apart, or 12,000. I don't know what you're asking me there, man. Coming out of the current sheet is nowhere near as bad as entering the current sheet and hitting the magnetic null point in the center. I think the Earth's liquid iron core, I like how you put the quotes there, is not a dynamo stator, but is Earth's own null point. Interesting. Exotic form of plasma, which opens door for principles of tectonic theory. Thoughts? So I think that there are 3 cores, well, 4 cores, but 3 different iron laden cores, and then at the center is water and a plasma ball. Have you ever seen sonoluminescence? Not solar, son, S-O-N, sonoluminescence. That's what's at the center of the Earth. And it is surrounded by iron and nickel and other things like that. Pete Benson, I look forward to seeing you this weekend. Keep it salty, Pete. I look forward to seeing you as well, my friend. It has been too long. For those who don't know, the Observer event is on Saturday. It's going to be a good time. I didn't hear the explanation about the no flood promise. Well, when I explained it, Annie, about 5 minutes ago, were you sitting there like this? How did you not hear it? I literally just explained it. Yeah. How long have we been doing this? We've been on here an hour. Wouldn't it destroy nuclear plants and kill off all life with radiation and nuclear winter? Lord Andre 87, I fully understand if you are terrified of nuclear plants and other things like that. I will say this. Going and living right next to one and drinking the water that leaks out after it has been destroyed is not a good plan. You may want to go find a video online called The Nuclear Scare Scam by Galen Windsor. The fact of the matter is, that kind of radiation, it does take a significant dosage. And even if every nuclear plant in the world failed at the same time, it's not going to kill everyone. Okie dokie. Michael says, choose one. God goes back on his promise and floods the world again, starting over minus Eve giving Adam the apple situation. Michael, I just went over why he did not promise never to flood the whole world again. That is not what he promised. The Bilderberg Group members don't survive another winter of severe illness and death. That sounds good. An earthquake directly under Washington, D.C. Either 2 or 3 sound fantastic, buddy. It's also very funny. Very funny. Tommy Riley. Oh my God, here we go. Question. With Yellowstone, would you consider a possibility of eruption? No. Or it's that covered in the lasted, or could point me to the book. Thank you. So I don't have to do that. I can just explain this again real fast because I guess it has been a couple of months since I mentioned this dozens of times. Yellowstone is the only volcano, super volcano or otherwise, on the planet that can boast its level of pressure release, whether it's geysers, seismic activity, geothermal release, which manages to melt a road or two every summer. It can't build up pressure. It's broken. Yellowstone is broken in terms of the terrifying eruption. Now, it can have an effusive eruption, which is like what that one in Hawaii does, where it bubbles up and spills over, in which case you don't want to be sitting next to it or downhill. But in terms of the explosive eruption, rather than effusive, no, Yellowstone is broken, and that can't happen there. Can you explain how inertial momentum loss and equalization after momentum starts to slow and completely dependent time frame will affect inundation? No. I don't even understand what you just said. Grateful Preps, what's up, my friend? Look, JM, I don't necessarily understand the way you phrased your question, but the point is, we know where the great waves went in past events. We know where they went. We know how high they were. We know that they were strong enough to move giant boulders. And they do seem to go this way and then go this way next time. And then the next cycle, they go this way. You have a pretty good idea of where these waves are going to be coming from, where they're going to go, how bad they're going to be. And it is as described. Pardon me, Ben, the Y files 3 weeks ago on Electric Universe. I didn't see that video. I don't watch the Y files. But I've watched the Y files make enough mistakes that I just stopped watching what they do. They probably do some good videos here or there. But also, I hate the fact that it's Electric Universe getting the credit when it's really plasma cosmology. And if you're going to go with another name, go with Magnetic Universe. I don't like what the Thunderbolts have done with the Electric Universe. Anthony Peratt, who they try to leech off of, doesn't like what they've done with the Electric Universe stuff. Not to mention that, but you guys might recall in 2013, 2014, 2015, I was the headline speaker at the Thunderbolts conferences. And after 3 years in a row for that, Dave Talbot, Wall Thornhill, and a couple others decided I should be in their group. However, to be in their group, you have to do some certain things first. It was explained to me that I had to read a treatise on cosmic fire by Alice Bailey and really understand it. Unfortunately, she was a major Satanist. It's a Satanist book. And that was the last time I spoke to the Thunderbolts. For anyone wondering why I went from being their headline speaker 3 years in a row to never talking about them again. There is an extinct volcano field in northeast New Mexico. Do they have a chance of erupting during a micronova event? And if so, would that pose any threats to the new Valley of the Sun? So that is in the new Valley of the Sun. The new Valley of the Sun goes from central Colorado down into Mexico. But yeah, they of course have the potential to erupt during the micronova event. Certainly. Certainly. T. Cole, you're funny. I miss any? Yeah, we're going to call this in a couple minutes here. Curious, new subscriber. I recently built a Faraday cage to protect from EMP with videos on YouTube for directions and made it my own. Question is, have you built them as well, and what items would you recommend to include? I have built one once. I do not recommend them because when Earth's magnetic field gets down to a certain point, what are you going to just keep your stuff in there for weeks at a time and not use it? That, and they're not going to be able to, a Faraday cage is not going to stop the induction from a micronova. No chance. I am not planning to save anything electrical. I am planning for pre-industrial Stone Age-like living. But Jimmy, kudos for building one, taking the initiative. I would just have a backup plan if I were you. So there is a valid point to be made about the plausibility expanding, contracting Earth model helps the argument for poles shifting to the equator. They don't need to shift locality independently if it's the planet expanding. So I do believe the planet breathes. We expand and we contract. Whether or not that's on the time scale of the disaster cycle, I don't know, but I think there's plenty of evidence for both expanding and contracting at different points throughout history. Good comment. Support it. Have you seen Astrom's video about the reversal? No, I have no idea who that is. Raymond Staples. Do me a favor. Come get your bitch out of my DMs. She's super annoying. Best evidence to show flat earthers. Do not talk about Fight Club, and you can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid. Flat earthers are literally so in the depths of their own insanity. It's a faith. It's not a scientific argument. It is literally a faith to them. There's no point in trying to fight that. Clint Carter, do the homework. The videos listed in the description box below this video. Watch them. Okay? That's as kind as I can make that recommendation, by the way. Darren Black, hello. Thank you. Apophis nearby. The most real unanswered question, will the micronova ruin ammo? Guess we'll find out. Yeah, I don't know. It's legit. It could. It might not. Boy, that'd be a hell of a thing, though, if the micronova just set off every bullet in the world at the exact same time. Fighting with sticks and stones after that. All right, guys. It's almost 7 o'clock here. It has been a long day. I am tired. And you guys are a beautiful mix of good questions and annoying as so. Yeah. All right, guys. All right, I'll get this one. Joe Peterson says, is it just me or am I more on alert over humanity's actions, reactions in the disaster cycle? I can't blame you for that, Joe. It's very possible that human stupidity might screw us over in a major way beforehand. There's no doubt about that. Hey, Roger Simon, you ask that again, I'm going to block you. Stop it. Like, what makes somebody post the exact same thing 15 times in a row? And Alan, I see you have titanium. Stop telling me you have titanium in your body. Go back 15 minutes and listen to what I said to do about it. God, crybabies. What's your plan when the sun turns black? Are you going to whine and cry and be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I have this wrong and that wrong and I'm not ready for this? Just shut up. Sack up. This is the cosmic Super Bowl. You better be ready. What do you think this is? Nobody's going to hold your hand through this. Nobody else in the world gives a flying shit about whether or not you're comfortable or you're scared or you're ready for what's coming. Just you. That's all. So what are you going to do? Fold or crack on? Jason, I will do no such thing. It's very funny, though. All right, guys. Sack up. Seriously. And if you felt uncomfortable with the way I was talking to you here on this show, go look at yourself in the mirror because you're in big, big trouble. And to all of you who handled it like complete G's, is there an invite-only member chat? That's a hilarious question. I wish. But anyway, guys, I am going to... What am I going to do? Oh, yeah. So what you guys can't see is there's literally my kids' Christmas presents all over this table here. And I'm going to continue wrapping some of them. Then I'm going to get some food. Then I'm going to put my kids to sleep. Probably even let my babysitter go a little bit early. That sounds good. Anyway, for the G's watching, good night. To everyone else, good luck. And of course, I will see you in the morning for the Daily Show. Happy birthday, Amber. Be safe, everyone.